latest ITV news.
Isolation, the Brits trapped on board the hantavirus cruise liner return. In total, more than 90 people have been taken off the ship. Tonight, the plane carrying passengers back to the UK landed as they head for hospital on the Wirral.
They're going to be absolutely shattered. So the thing for us to do is make sure that they're here, they're safe, they're welcome.
Also tonight, Labour's last chance. Former Deputy Leader Angela Rayner calls for the embattled PM to meet the moment.
And the BAFTA goes to, they might be used to this journey by now, adolescents.
The drama that keeps on winning. Adolescence picks up not one, not two, but 4 BAFTAs.
I've been nominated 8 times, and this is the first time I've won, so...
This is ITV News with Lucy Watson. Good evening. The British passengers trapped on board the cruise ship at the centre of the deadly hantavirus outbreak have tonight arrived back in the UK. The 20 Brits were among the first to be taken off the vessel, which docked off Tenerife early this morning. They have now been taken to a hospital on the Wirral, where they'll undergo tests before their period in isolation begins. With the latest now, here's our correspondent, Nick Dixon.
After a week stranded at sea, the British passengers have now landed back in Manchester. At Arrow Park Hospital on the Wirral, over the next 72 hours, public health specialists will now decide whether passengers can isolate at home or somewhere else more suitable.
They're going to be absolutely shattered. They've probably felt quite traumatised by the whole experience. So the thing for us to do is make sure that they're here, they're safe, they're welcome.
But it was in the darkness before dawn that the cruise ship at the centre of the hantavirus outbreak finally crept into the port in Tenerife. Escorted by Spanish police, the vessel was deliberately kept at a distance, anchoring offshore instead of fully docking. The world's media gathered on the shoreline, watching every moment unfold. Medics quickly boarded the ship to begin testing everyone, and throughout the day, police, military and intensive care teams helped passengers and crew disembark before being isolated on shuttle buses to the airport.
This operation requires the cooperation of 23 countries. All the passengers remain asymptomatic. The boat has arrived at 6:30 a.m. The entire operation is proceeding normally.
So after weeks of fear, uncertainty and isolation, the MV Hondius is finally in Tenerife, and for the passengers, the end of this extraordinary ordeal is finally in sight.
When it was the turn of the British passengers to start leaving the ship, they emerged wearing blue protective suits and masks. This afternoon they boarded a plane at Tenerife Airport before it departed for Manchester. Tonight the ship remains anchored off Tenerife. The evacuation of the final passengers is expected tomorrow, ending the weeks-long ordeal for all those who have been trapped on board. Nick Dixon, ITV News, in Tenerife.
The Prime Minister's former deputy, Angela Rayner, today joined Labour MPs calling for Sir Keir Starmer to meet the moment after the party's disastrous election results. She said Labour faces its last chance and called for Andy Burnham, a potential leadership rival, to be allowed back into the House of Commons. In the morning, the Prime Minister is expected to deliver a speech that could decide his future. Here's our political correspondent, Shihab Khan.
It's not long ago they were standing side by side celebrating an historic Labour landslide. But after a dismal set of local election results, the optimism has long faded. Today, the former Deputy Prime Minister released a damning statement criticising Keir Starmer's record in office. In it, she highlights a number of issues, including saying that the Peter Mandelson scandal showed a toxic culture of cronyism, and and that it is time to acknowledge that blocking Andy Burnham was a mistake when he was stopped from running in the Gorton and Denton by-election. It heaps further pressure on the Prime Minister, who is already dealing with the fact that around 40 of his own MPs have publicly called for him to go.
It's definitely a matter of when, not if. But what we can't have is a kind of palace coup or stitch-up where somebody who's been around the table for these disastrous decisions in Keir Starmer's top team in the cabinet ends up being rushed into that position.
One backbencher, Catherine West, has said she'll challenge the Prime Minister tomorrow if no one else does. But there are worries about this dragging on.
Everyone I've spoken to said we need to get this done properly, but not rushed, and therefore people are talking about autumn by the end of the year.
Keir Starmer has made it clear he has no intention of going anywhere and wants to govern for years to come.
I don't think the answer is to have a leadership change. I don't think that's what the country would want, us turning in on ourselves, talking amongst ourselves as a party, rather than focusing on the message they sent us last Thursday.
Tomorrow, the Prime Minister is expected to outline his response to these local election results and explain what he will do to get his government back on track.
And Shihab is here. Now, you mentioned the PM speech in the morning, Shihab. What does he have to do to save his job?
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure growing on the Prime Minister. We've had quite a lot of MPs, some from within his side of the party, calling for him to outline a departure for him to go. He's going to be delivering a speech in which he's going to give us his vision for the country, what he's going to do differently in response to the local election results. But it's going to be a really big week for a number of reasons. You heard about that backbencher who is threatening to launch a leadership contest if she doesn't feel as though anyone else has come forward. That's going to come to a head this week. There are rumours in Westminster that Andy Burnham may make an intervention next week as well. Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister, she's expected to give a speech tomorrow as well. There is a lot going on in this week, and I know this sounds unbelievably dramatic, but it's going to be probably the most significant week that Keir Starmer has had since he got the keys to number 10.
We shall see. Shihab, thank you. US President Donald Trump has called the latest Iranian proposal to end the war totally unacceptable on social media. Iran is reportedly asking for an end to the US blockade of the Strait of Hormuz and the lifting of all sanctions on their oil sales. Thousands of people gathered outside Downing Street today to protest against the recent rise in attacks on the Jewish community. The rally was organised by more than 30 Jewish groups following a marked increase in anti-Semitic violence, including the stabbing of 2 Jewish men in Golders Green last month. Emma Volney has this report.
Anti-Semitic attacks are now starting to become normalised.
Thousands of British Jews outside Downing Street demanding an end to anti-Semitism that has left them no longer feeling safe in the country they call home.
A couple of days ago I was told to go to the gas chambers. I get told to die of cancer because I'm Jewish. I have no sense of belonging here. It's disgusting.
There is a crisis of anti-Semitism, which means that there's a crisis for British society. Far more needs to be done in an urgent and effective way in order to combat this ancient hatred.
I stand against anti-Semitism.
The Conservative leader joining other politicians in expressing solidarity.
The people who want us to be afraid must never be allowed to win.
Anti-Semitism.
But boos for Labour's Pat McFadden as he tried to offer reassurance on behalf of the government.
That freedom is not enjoyed by a section of our society, the Jewish community, and that diminishes us all.
Well, demonstrators feel that anti-Semitism in Britain has spiralled out of control, and as you can see, they are here in their droves trying to make their feelings loud and clear. And such is the fear that some tell me they are considering leaving the country. They are hoping for change, but bracing for further attacks. Emma Volney, ITV News.
On to football now, and there was more high drama in the Premier League title race. Arsenal's 1-0 victory at relegation-threatened West Ham keeps their title destiny in their own hands. But as Chris Scudder reports, it was a nerve-shredding finish to get the job done.
It could not have been more dramatic, but tonight Arsenal are nearly there. All the drama came in the closing stages. West Ham had a huge opportunity to win. Even more drama to come. Deep in stoppage time, West might save the game. But hold on to the video screen for what could be a title-deciding announcement.
After review.
Arsenal's relief was off the scale. The title is now within touching distance. Chris Scudder, ITV News.
And the title race looks like it's going all the way in the Scottish Premiership too. Celtic are still firmly in contention after a comeback win over old firm rivals Rangers. Dyson Ryder's spectacular overhead kick helped them to a 3-1 victory that moves them to within a point of leaders' hearts with 2 games to play. And finally, it was the Netflix drama that won universal acclaim and sparked a national debate about disaffected teenage boys. Well, tonight, yet again, adolescents came out of an award ceremony laden with silverware. It picked up a total of 4 BAFTAs, among them the award for Best Limited Drama and the prize for Best Leading Actor for co-creator Stephen Graham. Our entertainment reporter Rishi Davda was there.
And the BAFTA goes to... They might be used to this journey by now. Adolescence.
14 months after its release, Adolescence is still riding a wave of success.
What are you looking for?
As Netflix's second most popular show of all time, it highlighted the dangers of social media and incel culture. Written by Stephen Graham and Jack Thorne.
The shows that we admired were sofa shows, which are shows where you watch the show and then you have a chat with your mum or your brother or your mate. The thing with Adolescence is we've heard time and time again that people have had those conversations.
I've been nominated 8 times and this is the first time I've won. So
Graham won Best Lead Actor.
He brought me into a family that I'll never forget.
16-year-old Owen Cooper picked up Best Supporting Actor.
Christine Tamarco.
While his on-screen mum won Best Supporting Actress.
I mean, it's such an honour to be part of Adolescence, and I feel so proud for the conversations that the show has influenced.
We've been told there's a problem with her passport.
Narges Rashidi won Best Actress for her portrayal of Nazneen Zaghari Ratcliffe, who was detained in Iran for nearly 6 years.
Telling a story like that was all over the news, but if you tell it in a fictional way, it's a little bit easier to grasp and to walk in somebody's shoes.
This is a project that I'm actually so proud of.
Code of Silence, the story of a deaf civilian volunteering to help police, starring Rose Ayling-Ellis, was chosen as Best Drama.
It's been tearing me apart. I'm so sorry.
The Celebrity Traitors won 2 awards, but Adolescence claimed 4. Its trophy cabinet now full of Golden Globes, Emmys, NTAs and BAFTAs. Rishi Davda, ITV News.
And that is it for tonight. Susanna and Ed are back with you for Good Morning Britain from 6. But from everyone on the weekend team, good night.